Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas and welcome to my channel. Christmas is just days away, and while your children may be snug in their bed with sugar plums dancing in their head, you might be wondering, how do I prepare the perfect Christmas feast for my friends and family? With that in mind, today I'm going to show you how to make everything you need for a blowout Christmas that you won't soon forget. I'll be making a Christmas feast complete with stuffed roast beef, mashed potatoes, honey roasted vegetables, pumpkin soup, mulled wine, and creme brulee for dessert. And if you follow my preparation steps, you'll be able to finish everything at the same time, serve it hot, and sit and eat with your friends and family. But without further ado, let's get to it. Now, no Christmas dinner is complete without a nice dessert, and nothing says Christmas like blowtorches in the kitchen, so for this dinner, we are going to prepare some creme brulee. To start, separate 4 egg yolks from their whites and place the yolks into a large mixing bowl. Now, add a 1/4 cup of sugar to the egg yolks and beat vigorously with a whisk until the color starts to lighten. When you're finished, the texture should look like this. Next, take half a vanilla bean, cut it in half down the middle, and with the back of your knife, scrape out the seeds and set them aside for later. Then, add 1½ cups of heavy cream to a medium saucepan, followed by the vanilla seeds in pot. Then while stirring, heat over medium-low until just about to boil. Don't forget to remove the vanilla bean before proceeding. Then, while stirring, gradually add the heated cream to the beaten egg, a little bit at a time, being careful not to add too much, because you don't want to cook the eggs with the hot cream. When the egg and cream are thoroughly combined, transfer this mixture to 4 4-ounce ramekins. Then, submerge the ramekins halfway in hot water and bake in the oven at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. When your custards are finished baking, remove them from the oven and put them in the fridge for at least 3 hours to set. Now, we're going to start preparing the main dish for our Christmas feast, the stuffed prime rib roast. To start, we're going to make the mushroom duxelle to stuff the roast. To do this, take 250 grams of your favorite mushrooms and dice them as fine as you can. Feel free to use a food processor if you have one, it makes this step way easier. Then, add a small amount of oil to a frying pan and over high heat, fry the mushrooms until they release all their water. At this point, add some salt and pepper and a sprig of thyme and reduce until all the water evaporates and you are left with a mushroom paste. Now, it's time to start preparing the prime rib roast. First, take a sharp knife and cut along the rib bones halfway into your prime rib to create a cavity. Stuff this cavity first with a layer of prosciutto, then cover the prosciutto in the duxelle. Finally, cover the duxelle in another layer of prosciutto and throw a sprig of thyme into the middle of the roast for some extra flavor. Then, using some kitchen twine, tie up the roast along the length to seal in the stuffing. Coat the top of the roast in kosher salt and black pepper and then massage it in. Crack a couple of cloves of garlic, place them on top of the roast, and then coat the whole thing in a little bit of olive oil. Throw the roast in a 350-degree oven and bake for about 1½ hours. Now, while the roast is in the oven, we will prepare the roasted veggies. First, Take a sweet potato, cut it in half along the length, then cut the half into quarters and throw them into a roasting pan. Then, peel a large carrot, cut it into quarters, and throw it in the roasting pan. Similarly, peel and cut a large parsnip and put it in the roasting pan. Take a kabocha squash, cut it in half down the middle, and use a spoon to scoop out the insides. Proceed to cut the squash into sixths. Finally, throw your squash wedges into the roasting pan with the rest of the veggies. Coat the vegetables in the roasting pan in some olive oil, salt, and pepper, then toss to coat. Throw a couple of whole cloves of garlic on top with a sprig of thyme and set aside for the moment. Now, in order to prepare the pumpkin soup for our dinner, cube the leftover sweet potato and squash from before, as well as half an onion and one of your favorite apples. Place all of these cubed veggies and fruit into a roasting pan. Then coat the veggies in some olive oil, salt, and pepper, as we did before. Add a whole clove of garlic and a sprig of thyme, and we are ready to throw the pan in the oven. When the roast has about an hour of cooking time remaining, put both roasting pans in the oven with the roast beef. With everything else in the oven, we will begin to prepare the mashed potatoes. To start, we will peel around 6 potatoes and then cut them into eighths. Add the potatoes to a pot of boiling water and boil them until they are soft enough to easily pierce with a knife. At this point, use a slotted spoon to transfer the potatoes to a stand mixer bowl. Add 200 grams of cream cheese to the boiled potatoes and proceed to blend this mixture using the beater head until it has a very smooth texture. At this point, remove the mixer bowl from the stand mixer and use a spatula to transfer these finished mashed potatoes into a serving bowl. Finally, set the bowl aside for later. Now, if prepared sufficiently in advance, your custard pudding will have cooled long enough, so we will turn it into creme brulee. First, cover the top of the custard pudding evenly in a layer of sugar, and then shake off all the excess. Then, prepare a blowtorch for kitchen use, and use your blowtorch to caramelize the layer of sugar. Let stand for 5 minutes for the caramelized sugar to harden, and with that, you have finished this professional looking creme brulee. Now at this point, the prime rib should be finished roasting in the oven, so take it out and let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes to let it retain its juices. The roasted veggies should also be close to done at this time, so remove the first tray of veggies from the oven, coat them in a little bit of honey, and toss to coat. Put this tray back in the oven for another 5 to 10 minutes to finish these honey roasted vegetables. Now, remove the tray of soup vegetables from the oven and carefully transfer them to a blender. Add to the blender 500 milliliters of hot vegetable stock. Proceed to blend this mixture on high for a few minutes until it is very smooth. Then remove from the blender and pour into a soup bowl. Decorate the top with some almond slivers, and this flavorful pumpkin soup is finished and ready to serve. At this point, the honey roasted veggies should also be finished, so remove them from the oven and carefully plate them on a long plate. And with that, the beautiful plate of honey roasted vegetables is complete and ready to serve. Now, the roast has sat for long enough, so we can add the finishing touches to this beast. Firstly, remove the strings holding the roast together. Then, use a blowtorch to char the outside of the roast to give it a crust. With a sharp knife, separate the rib bones from the rest of the roast and set them aside. Proceed to slice the prime rib into 1/2 centimeter slices and reveal the perfect medium rare color on the inside. And with that, this prime rib roast is ready to serve. We are almost finished preparing this Christmas dinner feast, but what dinner would be complete without a drink? So how about we whip up a festive little batch of mulled wine? The exact recipe for this is in my previous Christmas videos. I'll link it down below. When the mulled wine is finished, remove it from the heat and transfer to your favorite wine glasses for serving. With that final preparation finished, let's set the table and dig in. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you really enjoyed it. Please thumbs up this video if you liked it, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. I hope to see you next time. Bye!